Hey guys, look, I know what you're thinking. Where's Formula 1 2012? Well, I kind of couldn't be asked to record anything for this one, so I thought, why not treat you guys to a video blog as a way of me saying thank you for, 20 videos of race reviews and recaps and what have you. I thought, let's mix it up for the season finale and do an actual video blog. And I know this is something that's been much requested of me over the last few months, so here I am, hairy and all, and I got a bit of the old stubble going on there, but let's ignore that. Let's talk about some Formula 1, shall we, and let's cut to the chase. Congratulations to Sebastian Vettel, the now triple Formula 1 world champion, one of a very special club. I think only 6 or 7 other guys have had 3 world titles, and he's only the third man to ever win 3 in a row. The other 2 being Fangio and Schumacher, and they're 2 of the all-time greats as it is. Obviously, Schumacher won 5 in a row between 2000 and 2004, and I think who else was on 3? Jackie Stewart, Alan Prost, Jack Brabham, Sir Jackie Stewart, obviously Michael Schumacher. Alan Prost and then Senna. I think that's all of them. Fangio as well, obviously. Anywho, on to the Brazilian Grand Prix, which was won by Jenson Button, who... Is anyone really surprised by this? He is the king of changeable conditions. Obviously, the race started just as the rain was coming down and it was getting worse. They changed to intermediates. It was a banzai start. The Ferraris have had their lightning starts all year, and this was another one. Massa all the way up to second place off the start line from his place of 5th. Alonso got up to P4, overtaking Vettel. Both Red Bulls had a bad getaway, and that didn't end too well for them. But Vettel was bumped at turn 4 by Bruno Senna. Vettel said it into the corner. Didn't have the apex, but Bruno Senna sort of did. There was contact. Vettel had damage to the left-hand side of the car, but drove on anyway. Didn't affect him too much throughout the course of the race. And he fought all the way back up the field from 24th all the way up to eventually I think it was P6 in the end, which obviously was more than enough to win him the title. Then the track started drying out again, which was crazy enough as it is. Everyone was making pit stops, who was making the right tactical call. Raikkonen was one of the first to switch over. Vettel was caught in a dogfight with Kamui Kobayashi, who was obviously fighting for his career, and Felipe Massa, while at the same time Nico Hülkenberg was leading and led the vast majority of the race in his Force India. He did an absolutely tremendous job keeping pace with the McLarens. It was Hamilton and Button who had some scraps here and there, and it's one of those things where it'll be so surprising. But unfortunately, towards the end of the race, Hülkenberg trying to pass Hamilton again. The rain was coming down again for changeable conditions. He's gone for a pass while Hamilton's trying to pass a back marker, and there's been contact on the way in. I think Hülkenberg slid on the brakes trying to get round turn 1, and as he slid, he's clipped Hamilton. He's taken his front suspension out, and that was the end of Hamilton's McLaren career. Very abruptly. I think that's the 3rd time this season he's had a race taken away from him when he was in first place and started on pole. I think Abu Dhabi and Singapore were the other ones. I mean, he's just been bitterly unlucky. I think Lewis Hamilton could have easily been a world title contender if all things had held out. And towards the end of the race as well, obviously those 2 take each other out from 1st and 2nd meant that Fernando Alonso could go up to 3rd and then 2nd as Felipe Massa was in front. Obviously Massa pulling to one side to give Alonso the best possible chance of winning the title. But it wasn't enough as Sebastian Vettel crossed the line in 6th place, and that was enough to win him his 3rd consecutive World Championship. But Ferrari's 2nd and 3rd, plus Hamilton's retirement, meant that Ferrari overtook McLaren and got 2nd place in the Constructors. So a fantastic achievement from Fernando Alonso and the team. I mean, that car was a dog. That Ferrari was a dog of a car. And what happened in the end, it all turned around, and Alonso's driving has been second to none this year. He's been truly world class, and he deserves all the props in the world for taking it to the final day as he did. A tremendous effort, and I think you're watching 2 of the very greatest in Alonso and and Vettel. I mean, they're two special drivers in my opinion. Hamilton's up there as well. I mean, Hamilton would have had a world title shot this year if it wasn't for the fact his car has let him down and other incidents have let him down. I think he's had about 150 points he's had thrown away at him because of things like that. But the final running order on this amazing race. Jenson Button wins the Brazilian Grand Prix from Fernando Alonso in second. A great third place for Felipe Massa. Crying, he was crying on the podium when he after he was up there. I mean, it clearly meant a lot for him to do so well in his home Grand Prix. Mark Webber in fourth, a great drive for Red Bull. Hulkenberg fifth for Force India, another great finish from Force India. But you have to wonder what could it have been if it wasn't for that incident. Sebastian Vettel sixth, Michael Schumacher, who pulled over for Sebastian Vettel towards the end of the race as well. That was quite controversial but interesting. But I know Schumacher and Vettel are close friends. I know that they care an awful lot about one another. And I know Vettel was highly inspired by Michael Schumacher. So I'm not surprised that he pulled over there in the end this year. There was no need for him to get involved in Vettel, according to his interview afterwards. John-Eric Verne in 8th, great points for him. Kobayashi in 9th in what could be his final Formula 1 race. I really hope someone gives him a shot. Kimi Raikkonen rounded off the points in 10th, which means Kimi Raikkonen was the only man to finish every single racing lap of the Formula 1 calendar and was in the points 19 out of 20 races. A truly phenomenal achievement. And also in 11th, Vitaly Petrov for Caterham, which got Caterham 10th place in the Constructors' Championship, and that's great economic and money news for the team to go forward. Finishing, ironically, just ahead of Charles Pic in 12th with a career high for him, as now he will be joining Caterham next year, which is going to be very interesting indeed. Ricardo 13th, Heikki 14th in what could be his final race for Caterham. 15th for Rosberg, Timo Glock 16th, Pedro de la Rosa 17th, Narenko Takei in 18th, De Resta 19th, and the retirements, Lewis Hamilton 20th, Romain Grosjean 21st, Pastor Maldonado, Bruno Senna, and Sergio Perez. Obviously, Senna's incident with Vettel means he tagged Perez in the first lap, and that's how he ended up retiring. And nobody quite knows what happened to Maldonado. I know someone in the comments will correct me on this, as you always do, but I didn't see what happened to Pastor, so I'd like to know what happened to him as well, because I didn't see him happen. Other controversial incidents, Sebastian Vettel passing under a yellow flag. That was not a yellow flag, it was a red and yellow warning light for a slippery track. So Vettel has got nothing to answer for under that circumstance. I think there was a lot of bitter Vettel fans or Alonso fans there were trying to spin up some fake controversy. There wasn't a yellow flag there at all. But yeah, it's been a wonderful season. It really has. It's been a battle to the end. I've loved every moment of it. Michael Schumacher saying goodbye. He had a great drive in 7th place in his final race. The end of Lewis Hamilton's McLaren career. He heads to Mercedes. I think Hamilton has got a lot to be proud for. I think he's done a tremendous job given the tools he's had at McLaren, and I think that I think he'll do splendid at Mercedes. We'll push that car above its normal expectations, in my opinion, and I hope that works out for him. I wish him all the best with that team, and I wish Michael Schumacher all the best in his retirement, and I wish BBC F1's Jake Humphrey all the best, and I'm sure he'll have a great future with BT doing their Premier League football coverage from next season. I know he'll do a tremendous job, and he's been there for 4 years. He's done an absolutely marvellous job with Formula 1 on the BBC, and he's been a real inspiration to me as a aspiring broadcaster myself, and I hope that one day I'm fortunate enough to follow in his footsteps, because I think he's been tremendous for the BBC. He's done them very proud, as Christian Horner said after the race. It was lovely to see him go, and he seemed like a very, very humble about the whole situation. So it's I do genuinely wish him all the best, and good luck with him in BT. And finally, I want to thank all of you. I mean, it's been a fun 20 races. It's been a fantastic season, and I have had an absolute joy, an honour, and a privilege to be able to share and enjoy it with all of you fantastic F1 fans and fans of me. You guys are terrific. Now 2,500 of you subscribed to me in the last, how long now? 15, 16 months. So, again, thank you guys. It's been an absolute joy to share this season with you, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I did. And I've heard comments from people saying, thank you for making the season better, Dre. And when people tell me that I've made this season better, that's the biggest honour in the world for me. So thank you all so much for that. Obviously, plenty more videos to come, including the Harry Awards. You'll see what I mean on Tuesday. Keep your eye out for it. I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching over the course of the entire 2012 season, and I'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.